There was a time when buying something ended the transaction. You bought a piece of software, a car, a movie, or a machine. The company got its money, you got the product, and with a few obvious exceptions, the relationship was over. Today, buying something is increasingly just the moment a company begins charging you. Your software has a monthly plan. Your doorbell has cloud storage. Your printer wants an ink membership. Your car has connected services. Your music, movies, exercise, food delivery, photo storage, and sometimes even the features inside products you already paid for are attached to recurring payments. This is normally explained as convenience. Sometimes it is. But convenience is not the reason nearly every company wants recurring revenue. The real reason is that ownership gives certainty to the buyer, while subscriptions give certainty to the seller. And over the last decade, corporate finance has become very good at turning your future paychecks into somebody else's predictable revenue. Subscriptions are not new. Newspapers, utilities, rent, insurance, and club memberships have existed for a very long time. What changed was the type of product being sold this way. In the old model, subscriptions made sense when a company had to keep providing something: tomorrow's newspaper, next month's electricity, another year of insurance. The new model applies recurring charges to products that once could have been sold as finished goods. Software is the clearest example. A permanent license became an annual plan. The product may still be installed on your computer, but your ability to use it depends on an ongoing financial relationship. That shift was spectacularly successful for the companies that made it. Adobe reported $22.8 billion in subscription revenue in fiscal 2025, up 12% from the year before. Microsoft reported that Microsoft 365 Consumer reached 89 million subscribers in fiscal 2025. Intuit said its online ecosystem revenue grew 20% in fiscal 2025, with QuickBooks Online accounting revenue up 22%. 3 different companies, 3 different categories, the same financial destination, not because monthly payments are automatically better products, but because they are better revenue. Imagine 2 businesses. Business A sells a product for $240. It has to convince the same customer to buy again next year. Business B charges $20 a month. If the customer does nothing, the payments continue. On the first day, both customers appear to be worth the same amount. But the second business knows more about its future. It can estimate how many customers will remain, how many will cancel, how much each customer will pay, and how much it can spend to acquire the next one. That predictability affects everything. It makes hiring easier. It makes borrowing easier. It makes financial forecasts look more dependable. It gives investors a cleaner story. And once the system is operating at scale, a small price increase can move across millions of accounts without the company reselling the product one customer at a time. The technical word is recurring revenue. The practical meaning is that the company owns a small claim on your future income. This is why businesses talk obsessively about annual recurring revenue, retention, churn, lifetime value, and revenue per user. The product still matters, but the most valuable feature of the product may be its ability to keep the customer inside the payment system. Once investors rewarded the subscription model in software, the logic spread. Entertainment stopped selling individual albums and films and began selling access to libraries. Delivery companies sold memberships. Fitness moved from equipment and visits to monthly platforms. Security cameras added cloud plans. Appliances added apps and connected services. Automakers built digital ecosystems around navigation, connectivity, driver assistance, entertainment, and data. Not every recurring service is unreasonable. Some of these products require servers, licensing, support, updates, or continuous delivery. But the line between service and ownership became blurry. A company can now sell you the physical product, keep control over parts of its usefulness, charge for the continuing relationship, collect behavioral data, and still have the opportunity to sell you the next physical product later. The old transaction had 1 profit event. The new relationship can have 5. The original purchase, the financing, The subscription, the data, and the upgrade. That is not a conspiracy. It is a much better business model, which is exactly why consumers should understand it. Subscriptions can genuinely be better. They lower the upfront cost of expensive software. They can include security updates, cloud storage, new features, support, and access across devices. A streaming service may cost less than buying everything a customer watches. A person can try a service for 1 month instead of committing to a large purchase. The model also forces companies to keep earning the customer's attention. A product sold once can be neglected. A subscription that stops delivering value is exposed to cancellation. At least, that is how the model works when customers can leave easily. The best subscriptions share 3 qualities. The company keeps providing real value. The customer can cancel without friction, and the ongoing price is lower than the value of the flexibility. When those conditions exist, access can be better than ownership. The problem is what happens when they do not. Ownership is expensive at the beginning but cheap at the end. A subscription is cheap at the beginning and potentially endless. 10 subscriptions at $15 a month are not $15. They are $1,800 a year. 20 are $3,600. And unlike a purchase, there may be no point when the payment ends and the product remains. Consumers also surrender control. The company can change the price, alter the features, remove content, discontinue the platform, bundle an unwanted service, or change which plan contains the function the customer originally wanted. If a purchased product lasts longer than expected, the buyer wins. If a subscription lasts longer than expected, the seller wins. That difference is subtle because recurring payments are designed to disappear into the background. The amount is small enough not to demand a decision every month, while the automatic renewal removes the need for the company to win the sale again. The default becomes payment. This default has become important enough to attract government attention. The U.S. Federal Trade Commission tried to create a broad click-to-cancel rule requiring cancellation to be as simple as enrollment. A federal appeals court vacated that rule in 2025 over a procedural problem. In March 2026, the FTC reopened the rulemaking process, specifically asking how to address recurring payments people did not intend to order and cancellation obstacles. The legal details are still moving. The economic point is simpler. A subscription business can increase revenue in 2 ways. It can create more value, or it can make leaving less likely. The best companies focus on the first. The most irritating companies quietly benefit from the second. Free trials that roll into paid plans, annual renewals that arrive unnoticed, confusing cancellation menus, and bundles that hide the price of each component all exploit the same asymmetry. The customer must repeatedly decide to leave. The company only needed the customer to decide to join once. Before accepting another monthly payment, ask 4 questions. First, is the company continuously delivering something, or am I repeatedly paying for a finished product? Second, if I stop paying after 2 years, what remains? Third, can the company raise the price or remove the feature without giving me a practical alternative? Fourth, does renting preserve valuable flexibility, or does it merely make the first payment look smaller? This is not an argument to cancel every subscription. It is an argument to compare the real alternatives. Sometimes the correct comparison is $15 a month versus a $500 purchase. Sometimes it is $15 a month forever versus a product that used to be sold once. Those are not the same deal. Companies did not abandon ownership because consumers suddenly forgot how to buy things. They did it because a one-time sale ends. A recurring payment can become a forecast, a valuation, a financing strategy, and a permanent claim on future income. The subscription economy sells flexibility to the customer and certainty to the company. The important question is who keeps the flexibility and who keeps making the payment. This is price tag theory, the money behind everyday life.